Hey y'all, it's me.
It's a Beast Mascot, aka Benjamin, the one with the good mic in the podcast. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix that eventually. This isn't really the official second episode, it's just a quick Halloween special we just recorded. It's not gonna have a central focus subject like our last episode or other episodes going forward. It's not gonna be as structured as we'd like it to be, but hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles. So it's more just shooting the shit while talking about spooky stuff. While any other tangents we went on during the recording will go into bonus episodes that will come out whenever I get the time to do it, in between main episodes. This is what we plan to do going forward, so that way primary episodes will be focused on the topics, while the tangent episodes will just be whatever. Anyway, do enjoy the Halloween holiday special. If you watched the first episode, thank you so much for checking us out, and if you're new here, hi! I hope you enjoy the show.
Oh no, it is wrong holiday. I slept too lounge.
My thing that I decided on was those early 2000s movies that had Uncanny Valley CGI that I struggled to watch because I found that scary, like Monster House. They were too scary for me, and it was literally the art style. I couldn't.
Dude, they tried to mimic claymation, but with motion capture. What do you expect?
It's horrifying. I can't do it. Same as like Labyrinth. I never watched Labyrinth. I mean, completely different style choices, obviously, but it had like a slightly dark style shot, where just like, it was just shot in a dark space, all things were black, and my child mind was just like, I'm not doing any of that.
This isn't fun anymore.
Well, actually, I came across recently, it was AI generated, but it was recreations of like trailers for like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones done in like the 80s style, just like everything's dark and wet and just bad animatronics, and I'm like, someone put some effort into it. It's not just like completely wholesale. It's just like, it's just like, that's so accurate because it's just the 80s, just like just dark and gloomy, and you just got bad animatronics and
so many movies. I feel like there's been phases. I think we went through it with it definitely happened back then as well, but like just the phases of movies where they're just like everything's dark and gloomy and you can't see it on your TV.
Yeah.
That's why Lord of the Rings was so good, because they just like
parts were dark, but other parts were well lit. And
well, even like in the nighttime stuff, they just had lights anyway, and people just had to know it was dark. It's the same as like, what's the name of it when something's like off screen, like the sound's like off screen, you don't have a source for the sound, and you just sort of.
I think that's just off screen.
It's an actual name.
Well, like they're reacting to something off screen, but you can't ever see it or hear it.
Hello, welcome to Medianiacs, the podcast where we talk about anything media. I'm the dreaded one, Beast Mascot. Now you come up with funny YouTube alias right now.
For myself?
Yes.
The unthinking one. So don't think.
It's undiegetic sound, by the way.
Okay, non-diegetic, okay. Oh, like non-diegetic is... I thought non-diegetic was sound. It refers to like the soundtrack and whatnot, sounds that aren't actually in the environment they're in, not off-screen.
Well, I mean in the context of it being like not having an on-screen source. You can't look at it and be like, that's where it comes. But yeah,
do you mean like music playing over?
Soundtracks definitely are, but I think like sound effects and stuff. Or is that diegetic?
Well, it depends if it's
within the world. Yeah.
Well, like you're like doing it, like the Jaws doing it, like it's soundtrack. But I wouldn't.
It's non-diegetic.
Yeah, that's non-diegetic. Yeah. So it's not music. Like it's ominous effects.
I'm the non-diegetic one. That's why you can take the context however you like for whatever that means.
You gave yourselves eldritch titles. What about your actual funny usernames?
Oh, I thought we were going Eldritch Tales just because it's Halloween.
That's true.
Did anyone bring Call of Cthulhu?
I would love to play a Call of Cthulhu game.
It's fun.
Seems like a fun system. We got to do a TTRPG.
There's not much combat, so if you're a fan of combat, there's not much of it.
Yeah, I think
combat is dangerous. You die.
We should definitely do a TTRPG episode. We've got to work towards that. I've been plotting for a D&D. episode at some point.
True.
Got to think about what to talk about though. Anyway, hi, I'm Mason.
And I'm Malachi.
I'm not doxing myself. Anyway, we're gonna talk about spooky stuff. Spooky, scary nonsense. Spooky stuff we can think of. This is more of a... We've decided that holiday specials like Halloween and Crimbo are gonna be more shoot the shit, less structure than we're planning on doing for the...
Because we haven't had structure though.
So this is an unstructured episode, but you can't
Unlike
tell
our
yet.
normal unstructured episodes.
You just can't tell yet. You can't tell how unstructured it is.
Yeah, because eventually the podcast will be structured.
One day. We can hope.
We can hope.
Yeah.
Alright. Ben, what's your stuff?
You got some spooky, scary stuff over there, huh?
I actually have a DVD case around there that I should have...
Haunting. Do you want me to get it?
Yeah, it's the one that says... Hold on, I'll sit right down. It's the one that says color out of space. Further.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, so I can have an actual example of it. Color out of space is really cool. Do you...
Oh my god, it's Nick Cage.
Yeah, Color Out of Space.
Slingsby?
You know what's a really
Stanley,
interesting movie? Have you ever seen, oh god, what it's called? I think it's just called Rainbow Stone.
I don't know.
Or, no, was it Colors? It might be Colors. Hang on. Shorts. That's the name of it, Shorts. Have you ever seen the movie Shorts?
I've never heard of it before now.
Okay. It has no bearing on the context of this episode, but Shorts is a very interesting movie to me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, this is Color Out of Space movie. Richard Stanley was a guy who was involved with the production of a old film called The Island of Dr. Monroe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be an adaptation of the book, but due to ego problems with Val Kilmer, the lead actor in that movie, he decided that, because the film was being filmed in Australia, he went on a fucking insane drug spirit trip, and then later on snuck back onto the set in, like, costumes and whatnot, as part of the production staff, and this guy went on to eventually make this Color Out of Space movie, which is the first out of 3 H.P. Lovecraft story films that has been publicly announced that he's working on. And yeah, based on the short story, Color Out of Space.
And that is a H.P. Lovecraft short story? Or...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I haven't heard that one.
I have not heard that one either. I think I'm not much into color.
You got a synopsis?
Nicolas Cage is a part of a farming family. A weird space rock hits the farm. I forget. There's 3. I forget. It's which one is it? Is it meteorite or meteoroid when it's actually crashed?
Meteorite.
Yeah, thanks.
Short in space. Meteoroid when it's falling, I believe.
I thought it's meteor when it's falling.
Oh, maybe it is. When is it a meteorite? Maybe this one's on the ground.
God. What a shame we can't look this sort of stuff up.
Yeah, you don't have the internet.
Meteorite crashes in the yard. It's got this alien life form that's only ever described as a color, and it starts messing with the animals and the plants and whatnot. Starts making stuff go wacko. It's just a fun, like, B+ movie. I call it a B+ because it's a B movie, but there's a little bit more going on.
So it's like the B movie.
No, that's a B-. No, the B movie is a B-.
Is it? Do you not like the B movie?
So weird.
You just made a face at me.
No, I don't like it. One thing I like about how they depict the color itself is that they actually pick, like, I think it's magenta, or it's like a pink purplish color that's not, like, in the natural color spectrum of the, like, human eye.
Yeah, no, I do like the thought that aliens are just, they're there, but, like, we don't know. They're, like, so far away from what we consider to be life, or we consider to be how the universe functions. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It was 2019 film.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I'm just looking up
so
photos of it. Yeah, I
It's much newer, but by the sounds of it, sound like one of those, like, early 2000s, late 90s B-grade movies.
Yeah, I straight up never heard of this.
Well, you can take the DVD and watch it yourself.
Bold of you to assume we have media players.
No, I do. I've been getting a little bit of a DVD
Actually,
collection going.
I do, actually, if I use my PlayStation.
That's what I use,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, I've got a little bit of a DVD collection going. I've just been picking some up every now and again. It's pretty good. I just rewatched The Truman Show, one of my favourite movies.
Oh, yeah, I love that. That is a good
Now,
one.
the fear of being observed and that your life is a lie, that's a very scary topic.
Ooh,
Is it? I mean, yeah, I suppose.
we can go into that. Life is a lie. I love that shit.
Actually, I was just reading today about CIA training towns that they have over in the US.
Oh, that's freaky.
And it was this story, it was just like a Reddit text post or whatever.
Okay, very dubious source, go on.
Oh yeah, but like a lot of people then started talking about different ones around the place, and people were just straight up sharing their knowledge of the place. So they exist, they're these towns that are built as replicas of towns that are used as CIA and FBI training facilities for, I don't personally know what, but they're just ghost towns where there's basically no one there. They are in Google Maps black spots, so like Google Maps and stuff don't update with satellite imagery of that area that they're in. They are pretty much completely fenced in with like electronic gates. Anyway, I read this story about this guy recounting his experience of needing to stop for the night, goes off the highway where he sees a town in the distance. There are no signs or anything pointing towards it because it's one of these CIA fake towns. They go off, they go park in there. The first couple of places they go into, basically empty. They then go to a McDonald's to go get some food, and the person who serves them, like, gives them their food, it is very clearly not like normal McDonald's food. It's just slightly off in like taste or whatever. Like it was clearly distinct, like nuggets or whatever that weren't Macca's nuggets.
They were perfect squares.
I don't know, but that's how they described it. It may have been that. They then leave there, go and try and find a place to stay. They go into the first hotel. The person there talks to them. They're fully booked out. They go to the next one. It is the same person who was the cashier at McDonald's. They say that they're fully booked as well. They go to the next one. It is the same person. Again. And they just give them a place to stay for the night for this one. And they're very clearly disgruntled, very upset about this person being here and not wanting to interact with them. They go through the process, they stay there, they go get food, and then they leave. And when they leave through like this big electronic gate, it like closes behind them and then spits them out back onto the highway or whatever. But I find it very interesting that it's just like little pockets of ghost towns that you can accidentally end up in. Also incredibly funny to picture this guy going in and one of the operatives being like, okay, sir, do you just want me to go out there and like ask him to leave or whatever? And then whoever is like lieutenant or supervisor is just like, no, we can salvage this. Go put on the Macca's uniform.
I like the more thought it actually was just a normal town. It was just 3 triplets who were just like super like annoyed for whatever reason in their personal life. And it just all is really triplets one after.
Yeah.
It's a microstate.
And the reason the nuggets were off was like they just ran out and had to buy like Coles nuggets or I guess Walmart.
Yeah, I think Walmart probably sells food or something. I don't know.
They sell everything.
Like cheap off-brand nuggets that they had to buy because they're out.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my little recollection of the thing I read today that may or may not be completely false, but who knows?
Which subreddit did you find that on? Because that sounds like an r/no sleep thing.
r/no sleep is so freaky.
The Reddit that I found it on was a screenshot on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
The other Reddit that's freaky subreddit is r/like 2-sentence horror story. It's like just 2 sentences. It's like, oh dear.
It hurts. Why?
Yeah.
I fucking love the terrible 2-sentence horror stories
Some of them so
that are just like, I couldn't sleep at night because of the spooky man.
No. The meme is the creature. You are banned. Your post will get banned on 2-sentence horror stories if you use the term the creature. If you use the word creature, like it's banned because so many people use the term creature.
Because it's so vague.
No. The one that gets me every time because like you see, there's a lot of them. Is just like I came home and my mum called from upstairs, and as I went to go upstairs to see her, someone grabbed me and pulled me to the closet. It was my mum saying, "Don't go up there." And it's like you see that all the time. Like, oh, really another one?
Because they're always just like, I feel like 2-sentence horror stories are very hard to craft, especially if you slap like a bunch of minds together and put them into a Reddit. Because essentially what you're getting is going to just be the same goddamn thing over and over again.
Yeah, there are some good ones. There are some ones that make me go, oh, that's freaky or that's fucked up. But most of the time it's like, oh yeah, there we go. I
mean, not a 2-sentence horror story, but a 2-sentence sort of sad story is like Baby Shoes Never Worn.
Yeah.
Which, like, I love because it is a very sad thing. It evokes this sort of, like, it doesn't need the context because you can you can understand the context just by reading it, but it's an advert saying...
Babies born without feet. It's so sad.
Yes, a terrible thing.
Obviously, that's what we're talking about.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, evidently so.
But yeah,
Two left feet, so the shoes didn't fit properly.
Baby shoes never worn. We accidentally bought a second pair. 3-sentence, kinda sad stories, but they get better in the last sentence.
Baby shoes never worn. Baby just would not wear the shoes. They just kept biting them and throwing them off. But no, an interesting story, sort of spooky one I saw from America that you're one reminding me of, is there's this town in America. It used to be an old coal mine right above it.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day, I can't remember how it started, but...
Is this the fire?
The fire.
Oh!
And the entire coal mine, so the entire hill, is now on fire. And it's been on fire for the last 50 years, and will be on fire for another 100 years.
That sounds like that gas pocket in Russia.
Yeah, I've heard that one too, yeah. Anyway, so this coal mine, it's been on fire for 50 years now. And all the roads to it, they've just got giant mounds of dirt across the road, so you can't go to the town because there's a giant sinkhole pretty much. You just walk around and suddenly a sinkhole opens up, and you will literally fall into a fiery abyss.
So I have actually found it. So it's the Centralia mine fire, which is a coal seam fire that has been burning in a labyrinth of abandoned coal mines underneath Centralia, Pennsylvania, in the United States since at least May 27th, 1962.
Oh, sorry. 60 years. 62 years.
Bro, why don't they just
I can't
fill
do
it all up with ocean?
You do not believe my maths?
I can't do maths in my head. As someone whose day job is civil engineering, use a calculator. I'm studying civil engineering. Use a calculator.
I definitely still do for electric when I've got place this light in some room. Oh, sound engineering I can do, but a few things I'm no, I'm going to calculate because I can do this in my head. But if I'm wrong, it'll look shit. And I need it to be right.
Really suck if I did my fucking calculations wrong and just went with it.
And suddenly just they take on your designs and they order 50,000 tons more rock than they needed.
Hell yeah, baby. Oh. Hey, yeah, no, I'm drawing this at a 10-to-1 scale, aren't I? You get out to the road, just
just the lane, for this one lane, these a 2-lane highway is suddenly 50 meters wide. It's oops.
Plenty of overtaking space. That's just a parking lot.
You get to the perfect triangle hill. What is this PS1 proportions? Ooh, PS1. That's got a ton of horror stuff.
Road over hill. That's a perfect right angle triangle. You go up and it's literally to the top. It's I'll try to flips over the top and goes down.
I don't believe most cars could even get onto the up part.
No, it doesn't have to be a right angle triangle. It could be a flatter one. What's the name?
Isosceles or equilateral? Oh, no, not an equilateral. Isosceles.
Yeah, where it's kind of squished, but still where it goes up at the exact same curve and it goes down the same thing, and the point's just literally a hump. You get airtime. Anyway, that's not really spooky. So,
you said PS1 has spooky shit. What's spooky shits on the PS1?
Silent Hill, Resident Evil.
I've heard of Silent Hill. I have not played it.
The Silent Hill 2 remake recently came out, and it's apparently great.
I have actually seen YouTube videos, but I have not watched those YouTube videos.
Actually, I think I did see Silent Hill remake on my Steam for you.
Yeah. But no, it'd be cool if it's good. I might have to start doing some spookier games. I gotta find more time to play games. But yeah, I've never been a big fan of spooky games. Actually, I bought a game that was about a ghost detective or some shit like that.
Oh god.
And when I bought this, I was a child, so please be fair on me. And I had a very overactive imagination as a child. I played the beginning, so literally the introduction level of this game, where you walk in and you're walking up the stairs, and a ghost pops out, and it doesn't look scary. Nothing scary happens. A ghost just kind of pops out of the stairs and doesn't jump scare you, I don't think. Anyway, it was too scary and I returned to the store.
Okay. I've only got one scary game, and it's called Fear, something like that.
Oh yeah, the first-person shooter. Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
No.
Layers of Fear, maybe?
Layers of Fear is...
It's you in this mansion or something,
Yeah.
you've got to find your way out. puzzles.
It's YouTube horror. It's horror YouTuber bait.
Anyway, I got it for free, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll play this, and it was alright.
Man, I'm glad we have so many spooky things to talk about today.
Yes, well, I got one that was less spooky and more just like, so, I like history, and I pulled up a bunch of stories of, like, people who, like, should not have survived what they survived.
Ooh.
So, anyway, so one is, one of my favourite is, Roy Sullivan. He's a American park ranger, in the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. He's dead now, but he was born in 1912 to 1983. Anyway, he got his nickname as the Human Lightning Conductor after being struck by lightning 7 times over the course of his career.
Well, speaking of that, we actually had someone who was local, who I believe was a local school teacher here, who got
You
struck.
doxing us?
No. I mean, unless they know about small towns in rural Australia somewhere that have a person who was struck. I think they were struck twice while going for a run.
Oof.
I think they were a primary school teacher around here somewhere. And yeah, they were just running along, blacked out, woke up in the grass, went, that was weird, got back up, or like continued on, and blacked out again in the grass, and there was like, I think something's going on. I think something's a little fishy here. They're slightly singed. They got fucking steam rising off them.
My metal helmet is really comfortable, but I keep blacking out.
But I'll read the article almost exactly, because this is the Wikipedia entry. And the author, can you find that Wikipedia article authors? Anyway, the author is just...
Me.
You can look at their sources.
Yeah, anyway. So, Sullivan described in detail each of the alleged strike encounters. Sullivan's first documented lightning strike was in April 1942. He was said to have been hiding from a thunderstorm in a fire lookout tower. The tower was newly built and had no lightning rod at the time. It was said to have been struck 7 to 8 times. Sullivan described a scene from within the tower, saying that the fire was jumping all over the place. Sullivan was said to have then run out of the burning building just before being struck a few feet away by lightning. It's burned a half-inch strip all along his right leg, hit his toe, and left a hole in his shoe.
Damn.
So not fun. It's like, oh, wow, that would be terrifying.
So this was Fire Lookout Tower was number 1. Okay.
Yeah, so Fire Lookout Tower hit him. Okay. He was hit again in July.
Oh, nothing. You said the Fire Lookout Tower hit him, and I was like, huh?
Well, that was the first hit, yes.
Yeah.
He was hit again in July 1969. Usually... I was waiting for that. I go to the pause. Anyway, usually he was hit while...
That pause was so pregnant.
Anyway, he was hit while in his truck, driving on a mountain road. The metal body of the vehicle normally protects people from lightning strike, by acting as a Faraday cage. The lightning's first hit was nearby trees and was deflected. Don't know how it's deflected, but anyway, deflected into the open window of the truck. The strike knocked Sullivan unconscious, burned off his eyebrows and eyelashes, and set his hair on fire. The uncontrollable truck kept moving until it stopped near a cliff edge.
Is that how lightning works? Can it be deflected off trees?
It's gone the closest way to ground, if for whatever reason... Yeah, it can arc. Like, if you're seeing, like, a...
You're asking the electrician how electricity works.
Yeah.
Exactly,
So
that's why he should
description.
be able to get it.
So if you've seen a Tesla coil, like, it comes down, or it's just, like, it can just jump from one thing to another.
Yeah.
It can happen. I wouldn't say it's fair. And coming through the car windows, like, a little
I
bit,
think
but,
he
like...
lied about it. I think he was unhappy with his new haircut. And I think he said, no, it was lightning again.
I mean, 1969, this was after the invention of cameras, so, I don't know. Much harder to lie about that.
In July 1970, so 1 year later, Sullivan was struck while in the front yard. The lightning hit a nearby power transformer and from there jumped to his left shoulder, searing it. In 1972, Sullivan was working inside a ranger station in Shenandoah National Park when he was struck again. It set his hair on fire. So he's inside the ranger station this time. I'm not sure how. Anyway. It set his hair on fire. He tried to smother the flames with his jacket. He then rushed to the restroom, but could not fit under the water tap, so he used a wet towel instead. Although he was never a fearful man, after the fourth strike, he began to believe that some force was trying to destroy him, and he had quite a fear of death. For months, whenever he was caught in a storm while driving his truck, he would pull over and lie down on the front seat until the storm passed. He also began to believe that he would somehow attract lightning if he stood in a crowd of people or carried a can and carried a can of water with him in case his hair was set on fire.
It's so fucking unfortunate and traumatic.
It really is. Like, if this is actually all true, because unfortunately a lot of these aren't verifiable. I'm assuming some are, because like some, he would have burns gone to hospital. So some of them, I feel like, if some actually did some research and verified it all.
I do.
It's okay, it does that sometimes.
Okay.
For audio listeners, my television in my room, it likes to just, like, black out for a bit and then come back.
So we thought we lost you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to the audio listeners, no one else. No one
Yeah,
else
the
gets
visual
to know that.
listeners, you saw what happened, it's fine.
Exactly.
Visual listeners, if you're seeing this, you're freaky because we can't see you.
Yeah.
Alright, so on August the 7th...
Show yourselves, cowards! Get out of my corners!
Why are you in his closet? Get out of there. On August 7th, 1973, while he was out on a patrol in the park, Sullivan saw a storm cloud forming and drove away quickly.
And the cloud followed him.
But he said later, but the cloud he said later seemed to be following him.
I said that as a joke, for fuck's sake!
When he finally thought he had outrun it, he decided it was safe to leave his truck. Soon after, he was struck by a lightning bolt. Sullivan stated that he actually saw the bolt that hit him. The lightning moved down his left arm and left leg and knocked off his shoe. It then crossed over to his right leg just below the knee. Still conscious, Sullivan crawled to his truck and poured the can of water, which he always kept there, over his head, which was on fire.
So it's the metal can of water that he carried with him.
No. He was driving away. He thought he escaped the storm that was following him. He then got out of his truck for... Why did he leave his truck? He decided it was safe to leave. I don't know why he left his truck.
He'd been struck in the truck previously.
True. Got out of his truck. Actually, no, because normally he lies in the front seat. Anyway, He decided to get out of his truck, got out, and then was struck by lightning. Crawled back to the truck, where, remember from like the fourth time, he now keeps a can of water on him at all times to douse his hair. What I want to know is, what product is he putting in his hair that is so flammable that his hair got constantly on fire?
It's the 70s, so there was probably...
It's reasonably flammable, but like, literally on fire, you gotta douse it.
Malachi, it's the 70s. They still had lead in everything.
True.
The good old days. How it should be.
Anyway.
Lead and asbestos, the best thing to have in schools.
It's better than the 9mm. That they use in American schools to teach people, right? They have metric units.
Anyway, the Dead Space remake is fucking amazing.
Well, on strike number 6 now.
Hang on, we're not done with the Wikipedia article, okay?
The next strike, on June 5th, 1976, injured his ankle. It was reported that he saw a cloud, thought it was fallen, tried to run away, but was struck again. His hair also caught on fire.
I don't know how he keeps growing back his hair. Like, that's tough.
It's rough.
No, he just has really tiny bald spots.
Okay, on June 25th, 1977, Sullivan was struck while fishing in a freshwater pool. The lightning hit the top of his head, set his hair on fire, travelled down and burnt his chest and stomach. Sullivan turned to his car, where something unexpected occurred. A bear approached the pond and tried to steal a trout from his fishing line. Sullivan had the strength and courage to strike the bear with a tree branch, despite the fact that his hair was on fire. He claimed that this was the 22nd time he hit a bear with a stick in his lifetime.
20 seconds.
Hold on, I want to know that story.
He's
What?
He's a park ranger.
I mean, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Right,
like, he's
yeah.
around them,
Yeah.
but still the idea of,
Yeah.
and also the idea that he had the courage to... He's done this 22 other times. He's well-practiced. He's versed.
Also, he wouldn't have to hit the bear if he just, like, had the head on fire and just went, "Ah!" It made himself all scary.
But he also just got struck by lightning,
Yeah.
and then he attacked the...
Well, at this point,
Why is the
he
bear...
probably thinks he's actually invincible.
Well, I would have thought that the bear would have been, like, freaked out by the lightning, maybe.
Well, it could have been like a few seconds after, like a few
suppose
minutes
so.
after. He could... Well, no, his hair was still on fire.
Exactly.
Anyway,
His hair was... It's all the lead that kept his hair on fire, but his scalp's safe.
all 7 strikes were documented by the superintendent of Shenandoah National Park, R. Taylor Hoskins. Hoskins, however, was never present at any of the reported strikes, and was not an active and present superintendent in Shenandoah National Park for many of the times Sullivan was supposedly struck. Sullivan himself recalled that the first time he was ever struck by lightning was not 1942, but much earlier when he was a child. He was helping his father to cut wheat in the field, when thunderbolt struck the blade of his scythe without injuring him. But because he could not prove that fact, later he never claimed it. Sullivan's wife was also struck once in a storm, suddenly arrived when a storm suddenly arrived as she was out hanging clothes in the backyard. Her husband was helping her at the time, but escaped unharmed. Anyway, so if the fact that he claims out and he's like, I'm not claiming that one because that wasn't provable, but the others were, I feel like there is some claim. Also, it's so ridiculous that I'm like,
I fuck with it. You know who it reminds me of? It reminds me of the lightning guy from Magnus Archives. The kid.
Magnus
No.
What? No, I'm thinking of the one.
That's a completely different...
It's a completely different book.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm thinking of not J.K. Rowling, Richard... What?
Riordan or
Riordan,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. I never read the Percy Jackson books.
This is a different one. It's Annabeth's cousin or something. I think to do with Greek. Norse gods.
That's it. Yeah, actually, one of our friends was talking to me about this earlier. But yeah, it reminds me of the guy from the Magnus Archives. Whoever that kid was with the... Oh no, it's got the Lichen diagrams or whatever. It's like the lightning bolt scars.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but they're cool. Like, obviously, traumatic to get, but...
Sick as hell.
I dig
Sick as hell. Okay, that's wild, though, getting struck that many times by lightning and then your wife getting struck.
That's gonna be scary at first, but then it stops getting scary until the wife gets it.
Yeah, I do find the one about the scythe got stuck as a kid because of, like, death's coming for you.
That's crazy. I wonder what this guy did to deserve all that.
I want to know too.
We live in a clown world. You don't have to deserve anything bad to happen to you.
No. It's all a moral point system, and it all comes around. Karma.
There's a bitch. I mean, Karma, you're my favorite girl. Please don't hit me.
Yeah, karma's a real thing, bud. Probably. I don't know. I'm not a spiritual guy. But you had a thing you wanted to talk about, I think, Ben?
The Dead Space remake is fucking awesome, and you don't need to play the original because this one just blows... Literally, all this game does is take the first game and then make all the things that were bad about it good.
I haven't played, but I have heard it. Spoiler warning, Dead Space, that's the one where, like, there's the virus and it's turned people into, like, organic planets or something, isn't it?
No.
No?
It's not a virus. I mean, I guess in the sense of... It's Lovecraftian again. It's a Lovecraftian influence, like fucking with people's biomasses. Mason has a question. Sorry.
More of a statement. I have played some of this game. I own the Dead Space remake. It is very good. His head, the helmet that he wears, looks a lot like the boosters in Mario Kart 8.
But isn't this thing about like some like organic planet or something like that?
That's in Dead Space 3. That's the Brethren Moons.
Okay, that's probably what I'm thinking of. I'm sure I've heard something about Dead Space.
Yeah, that's not in this. That's not in the remake, as far as I'm aware. I haven't finished it yet, which I should. But yeah, that's a fun game. That game is basically sci-fi Resident Evil 4 in terms of gameplay, and it's so good. It's so good.
Play it. Which I wouldn't do immediately, but I have so many other games I've got to finish.
Damn, what's really scary is my backlog.
I feel like we all need to take a year off from work just to play all the video games we've missed out on.
Do you know what was also really, not scary, but kind of disappointing? Did you ever play it's based on Dead Space, it's called... Oh, I can't remember the name.
Dead Space Extraction for the...
No. It's, I think it's by the same guy, but it was a really boring... Callisto. The Callisto Protocol.
Oh, yeah, Callisto Protocol.
That was incredibly disappointing.
Man.
I did play the entire thing, though, and for what it's worth, it looks cool, and the idea is cool, but, play Dead Space, and you get...
Just get the Dead Space remake.
It's not a walking simulator. Dead Space isn't a walking simulator. If you want to play Dead Space as a walking simulator, get that game. The combat in it, have you played it, by the way?
No, but I've seen enough to be like, I would hate this.
Yeah, the combat in it, you basically walk up to something, and then when it goes to hit you, you hold the joystick to the left, and you dodge left. Then you hold it to the right, and you dodge right. And then you press the button to hit, and it hits, and that's all combat. You can't roll, you can't dodge, or have any sort of control. And also, once you get locked into combat with one of these like zombie creatures, you can't just walk away. You just have to stand there and sidestep it a bunch of times and hit it. It's real riveting. Combat-based games for me. Like, I'm fine with like a story if the combat's not a major focus, and it's like, oh, the combat, just
buff your stats, and then we just roll dice and have a fight off.
Or you can go like survival horror routes where
Combat like The Witcher or what's that Batman?
The Arkham games.
Yeah, Arkham
The
games.
Arkham
They do good
games.
combat.
Absolutely my favorite game series. Ooh,
this is the thunderstorm forming.
I have washing on
Oh,
mine.
lightning's gonna strike someone.
Could be
It's not a.
Yeah. Anyway, was there anything particular in the Dead Space remake that you wanted to point out or glorify or anything like that?
I just fucking love the atmosphere in that game. Like, sure, you could point to the obvious stuff, like the necromorphs, that's just like these fucking body horror, like...
Fucking...
Yeah, the slashes, that's the most common enemy.
I've played the game like a little bit, man.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, it's like, it's so common. But even then, just walking around the ship, this industrial-ass ship, it's so good.
I will also say something I really appreciated about that game. I love the idea of improvised weapons.
Yeah, so almost everything you have is like a tool in the future and has a practical purpose.
I will say the rock cutter or the laser cutter, whatever it is, and being able to switch between a vertical and horizontal.
Yeah, the plasma cutter.
Yeah, the plasma cutter, to be able to slice off limbs. When I played that, knowing that this has been in a game for so long, was just crazy because I haven't personally encountered stuff like that in games before. Like, for some reason, it's just like, that was such an awesome idea to me.
Yeah, literally the concept was, hey, what if in the survival horror game, shooting the head doesn't kill them?
True. Why should aliens have their brains in the head? They could have it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, sure, you have these like frames of these creatures, but it's just biomass. So it's just got these forms, but you can't even really kill the necromorphs technically, because the most you could do is, you know, do the fucking Dead Space stomp on them until they just come apart. But in canon, that biomass is just gonna get recycled into something else.
So, Malachi, you haven't played the game. Basically, when the creatures come at you, they have, like, giant, I guess, praying mantis arms. Again, it's been a minute. But the common enemies, the slicers, have, like, these big slashing arms and stuff that they use to, like, jump at you and stab you and whatnot.
Depending on the design variants, some of them times it's their arms, sometimes it's just bones coming out of their back and their arms are fused to their body.
But the idea is you have this plasma cutter that you picked up, which is like a tool that you can use to, like, normally they would use it as a tool on the space station to cut stuff. But what you do is when you pull the trigger, it sends out, like, a line. And you have to use it to cut their arms off so that they can't attack you. Their arms and then their legs. And then once they're on the ground, like you said, you have to Dead Space stomp them. Yeah, and that's it's a really cool mechanic I actually really like. And then also the whole jetpack and stuff. The zero gravity sections are fun.
Yeah, especially in the remake.
Those are fucking scary though once you get guys jumping at you.
Yes, like lurkers and the leapers.
I gotta get back into that game.
So, yeah, no, that sounds fun.
It is really good. You should start playing it, and then get halfway through, and then stop.
Oh, guys, we should do a let's play.
Maybe we should start a let's play series just to give us an excuse to play some games.
I say that half jokingly, but I have done let's play videos of the Dead Space remake.
Hell yeah, I love that. Put it in the link in the description.
Oh boy, but yes, I can't sing that game's praises enough. People were worried that it was gonna be shit, and it's like, oh. So happy. So glad.
Whoa, lightning strike.
Guys, we're gonna die on the Halloween special.
Hair's just gonna get sunfired, that's it.
There's a Batman analog horror series, by the way.
Is there? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it good?
It's weird. It depicts Batman as this weird night creature that kidnaps children and turns them into, like, the Robins and whatnot.
That's just Batman. That's what happens in it, though. He's a nightmare creature. That's the idea, and then he kidnaps children while he adopts them forcibly and turns them into Robins.
Could you imagine Batman's the reason why, like, Jason Todd's parents are dead? I gave him the shittiest net.
No.
He's like, cutthroat Alfred.
No, what?
Master Way, I don't think this is a good idea.
No, I saw it was like a Reddit, like writing prompt, and it's just like, what if, because Batman, how he became the Bat was on that one night he got scared of bats, and he decided that was the thing to be scared of. I think that was pretty much it.
As his parents' funeral, they were going to put into the thingo or something like that, or he runs off and he falls down. Well, there's a bunch of different iterations.
But generally, he gets scared by bats at one pivotal point in his life, and that adopts that as his thing. So the writing prompt was, what if whatever scares him on that night is the thing he adopts as his thing?
That'd be really funny.
And so people were just like in the comments just writing all these funny ones with like clowns, so he's Clown Man, and just like all these other things that just could have scared him on that night, and it's just
Joker,
just so funny. Essentially, Joker Batman, where it's Bruce Wayne, and he's
Malachi. They already did the Joker Batman.
Right.
It's called the Batman Who Laughs.
Which is actually a cool design. I like it.
But like, it's just a terrifying Batman.
Yeah. I do like it when they do horror Batman. It's fun. Speaking of the Scarecrow level in the original Batman, Arkham Asylum. Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Also, Arkham. Was there one in? No, there wasn't one in Arkham City, but the Arkham Asylum Scarecrow one. And the did you guys, when you play that, get got by the fucking use the center joystick to dodge Scarecrow's attacks?
I don't know. I never played it, but I do know that you can just get shot in the head during that hallucination.
That's that's the idea. Did you?
No, I haven't played it.
Really? Okay, so in the Arkham Asylum game, during the Scarecrow thing, there's a part of the game where you're going along. Can't remember exactly what happens, but you do.
It replicates like the intro when Batman's bringing the Joker in, except the roles are reversed.
So again, one of my favorite game series. But when you're playing it and you die in this fight with Scarecrow, and you get shot in the head or whatever happens in that sense, the death screen comes up, and it's the same as every other death screen in the game, but it says in the hint, use the middle joystick button on your controller to dodge Scarecrow's attacks. Of course, playing on your whatever controller that you're using, there's not a middle joystick thing. But yes, as you said, when you hit the retry button, it takes you back to the beginning of the game. Roles are reversed. Batman's in the on the, oh god, what's it called? Not a stretcher. It's like a straight jacket, like moving trolley thing.
Yeah.
Real Hannibal Lecter sort of situation. Yeah. Or you, is that what that happens, but you also have a situation where you have to crawl your way out of your own grave. It's another situation that happens. And then you go to the Batcave on Arkham Asylum.
I do get Batman, but I mean, like, the fact that he just keeps putting the same criminals back in the Arkham Asylum, where they keep escaping from, I feel like the city just guys, put them in some other prison, lockup, asylum, whatever.
Okay, Commissioner Gordon, I got the Joker, Gordon. I'm gonna give him a smack on the bum. We're gonna throw him in an asylum so he learns his lesson. It's like, Batman, you're outside the law. Just kill him. No, I can't do it. He has to learn his lesson. I have to give him a chance.
Yeah, that's the other thing I feel with some things. Like, I'm not.
Who's killed more people with their mercy?
I'm not like advocating for the death penalty, but when someone does the things the Joker does time and time again, and you keep putting them in a mental asylum, it's just like, and they keep escaping. It's like you either need to build an inescapable prison, or make it so they can't go out and do the crime, whether that's death or like something else.
There are exceptions to the rule. Kill him.
Because there is like just the amount of deaths on the Rogues, what it is, Rogues Cast, whatever it is.
Rogues Gallery.
Rogues Gallery. That's the word I was looking for. And it's just like, guys, they are mass murderers. Like, they've killed more people like the 9/11. Why are we not just...
9/11 was a choice there for comparison, but yes.
Well, I went for the Americans because they're the ones that got them.
Yeah.
It was a choice. It was on my mind also because of...
It's actually also on my mind. I watched a Cloverfield movie this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not
Which one?
No, I didn't watch the Cloverfield movie. I watched a breakdown of the Cloverfield movie, the first one. Really weird thing that I did at one point was that I watched Cloverfield Lane when I was a kid, and I had no context for what it was, so it was just a really weird movie for me.
Oh, you mean the character study film that was forced into being a Cloverfield movie because J.J. Abrams is a hack?
Okay, maybe. It might have been that one. It could have been the other one. I don't know.
The one with John Goodman.
Yeah, he's real scary in that movie. It's a whole thing. It's also really funny that he's like the bad guy in that for the entire thing because he's like, there's aliens up there. And then she's just like, no, you're a psycho, I gotta get out of here. And then there's aliens up there.
Yeah, it's almost as if, like, forcing it to be a Cloverfield movie ruined the fucking film.
Maybe. I don't know, I haven't thought too hard about it.
You know a movie that was going to be a Cloverfield movie, but then the people around J.J. Abrams said, no, that's stupid, it's... I thought hail was coming down, but I think it's just someone... Okay, no, it's just them out there. Well, also, I actually have the Overlord DVD back around where you got the color out of space thing.
Which movie?
Overlord.
Overlord?
Yeah. Hey, did you guys play Call of Duty Zombies?
No.
No, never.
Could you tell us a little bit about that one?
Don't worry. Through time travel, the next episode will be about that. But basically, this is just a rip-off of Call of Duty Zombies. They just made a Call of Duty Zombies movie. Particularly the Call of Duty World War II game with its zombie mode. A lot more similarities to that, but that's another B+ movie. It's a B movie, but it's fun and it's got a little bit more going on.
I did spot another B movie.
I think the mics picked that one up. Good thing I did not. Oh, you got wash out.
I do. That's fine.
Yeah, it's cool, but
It's fine.
yes. Oh, this will be nice ambience.
Another B movie.
No, we
No,
can't.
it's more visual gag, but I pulled out the Bumblebee movie.
No comment on that. October for you guys in Australia. And docs just they now know we're in Australia.
Yeah, how much do you value those clothes?
Oh, the clothes are fine.
Yeah.
More my car across the street.
I don't.
Car as well.
Yeah, it's don't. If they get big hail, it'll be
I'm not seeing much hail in it, to be honest.
let me have a look at the mom. Alright, we'll just like. I should have clapped earlier just to help you edit, but.
It's
Remove.
It's okay.
That. Where's the bomb?
It's okay. We're being real unstructured today, remember?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They can just hear us worry about our cars and
Yeah, it's
washing.
fine. We'll leave some of this in of just us worrying.
I mean, I did leave in the part where, in the first episode, you were whispering into the fucking microphone saying that you shat and pissed in my bed.
Oh, that's black.
Oh, this may be... cut that part out where he said the name of our city. The city we live in.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Hi, everyone.
I'll cut it off at, it's black.
Yeah,
I
so...
do like some BBC Big Black Clouds.
We were just looking at our little forecast here, and it doesn't look fucking good.
No.
So all we can do is hope and pray that our windows aren't shattered.
It's okay.
Actually, speaking of windows, my windows are open at home.
Oh, do you want to go home?
I actually might call it now, actually.
Okay, that's all good.
Because it's right off my bed, and I did get my...
That's
bed
fine.
so
We'll round out the episode. Thanks for coming, Mal.
Yeah, all good. No, thanks for having me.
hurry.
I will head home. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, listeners, it's just Ben and I.
I don't know if I should say this, but I've specifically snuck, like, a whole bunch of, like, metal linings.
Anyway, that's the Halloween episode, I think. Something like that. I was going to talk about Monster House and how early 2000s animation, the Uncanny Valley situation with a lot of those, like Polar Express and stuff like that, really freaked me out as a kid, and I just could not watch that sort of stuff.
Now, what you're thinking of motion capture animation.
Yes. Hideous stuff.
Did you know that in the 2010s, a film came out with motion capture animation that is worse than the two you just mentioned?
What is it?
Food Fight.
I have heard of that. I thought that was... I didn't think that was 2010s. I thought that had to be much earlier and in a much worse time for CGI, surely.
You want to know the backstory behind that movie?
I have watched a YouTube video, but I forgot all about it, so please tell me.
So, Food Fight was supposed to come out a couple years after Toy Story, but then apparently someone stole the footage, and then the producers spent God knows how long, however much, just to get this film made, and it came out in the 2010s.
I have no idea why people would steal movies. Like, I understand if it's like if you want ransom it so that they buy it back or whatever, but the idea of like stealing that movie, what are you gonna do? Turn around and release it on your own, under your own name? I think it would hit cinemas and people would be like, hang on a second, I made that. Who's that director's name? Oh, that was a guy who quit very shortly after it was stolen.
I think what happened was the guy was gonna go hold it ransom, but then he watched it and he was like, "This ain't worth shit.
Why did I do this?
Fuck.
This is a very bad idea. Now I'm stuck with this garbage and no job. What the hell am I supposed to do?" But yeah, no, there was a bunch of real bad movies like that, so I don't know what was going on with any of that nonsense.
It was the new technology. It was a whole new craze.
Yeah, I just found like a lot of those early 2000s movies. Basically anything, I talked about this earlier about the games and stuff, but anything that had like a dark mood, like anything that was like shot in a dark lighting, I couldn't handle as a kid, even if it was a kid's movie. So Monster House, I have watched, but struggled with as a kid. Labyrinth, I have not ever watched. I'm planning on watching it soon, but couldn't do it because it was spooky and scary, kind of, I guess, maybe.
You would die. As a child, you would have died during the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, Dark Crystal, I was another one that I could not do. I love the idea of making those puppets and Muppets and whatnot. Very, very cool and amazing sort of technical stuff going into it. But yeah, I couldn't do it as a kid. Same as Never-Ending Story. Similar sort of movie that I couldn't do.
How can a horse be more sad than a person?
Was it a horse? I thought it was like a... Is it a horse?
In the Never-Ending Story.
Was it a horse?
Atreus.
Atreus. Like from God of War. I just said I haven't watched the movie. I just said I haven't. Why are you getting up? Oh my god. I'm gonna Google Atreus, and if it comes up with God of War.
Oh, no, not Atreus. Arteus?
Artemis?
Artex.
Because I thought it was like a big dragon thing.
No, that's a different...
Artax. It's Artax. Oh yeah, he's like in the swamp or something.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Never-ending story.
It would suck. The best stories end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like a whole thing with stories is that they're supposed to. Oh yeah. Hey, why is it that on the Never-Ending Story 2 poster the dragon looks like a big sperm?
Because it's the Never-Ending Story 2, and people don't want to talk about that.
Hey, the Never-Ending Story 2 kind of suggests that the story ended and they started a new one though.
Yeah. Did you know there was a Never-Ending Story 3?
Oh, you can't do that! You can't do that! It's a different story! Is it just the same story again? It should be. That's what they should have done. They should have just re-released it.
No, Jack Black's the main villain.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
I've run out of things to talk about with spooky shit, I think.
No, we haven't.
Haven't we?
Magnus.
Oh, the Magnus Archives. That's a spooky, scary thing. I like the one where the guy's a worm, and he crawls into another worm's burrow. You fucking bludgeons him to death.
No, they just slowly just go like, and they bite at each other. That's how it was described. Yeah, just slowly, just like, that's not, they don't make that noise, but it's described as...
I love how the show completely, like, tells you exactly what happens, but every time I picture that scene, it's just the worm beating the shit out of the other worm, just smashing their heads into each other. Can't have shit in Detroit. Man, no, it's a good show, Magnus Archives. You're still watching Magnus Protocol, aren't you?
I finished it.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, I finished the first season.
Is it good? Well, you didn't say yes, so that's all I need to know.
Well, to end this horror episode, do you have any spooky, scary stuff you're excited for, or stuff you would recommend otherwise?
See, I probably wasn't the one to do a spooky episode. My partner does a lot of more spooky movies and stuff like that. Actually, so does Mel's partner, because they're friends. Both of them.
Call her. Call her right now.
I can't. She's driving. But they both go and watch like scary movies all the time. So maybe we should do like another scary themed one in a little bit and invite them on and let them do the podcast and not give them any recognition. I think that's fair. I think we should do that. No, I mean, I'm sure there's some spooky shit coming out soon that I would like to see. I liked the FNAF movie, so I hope they do that again. Did you not like the FNAF movie?
No, I didn't see it, but don't fucking call it FNAF.
FNAF. Don't. Five Nights at Freddy's. That's where you want to be. It has Shaggy in it.
I'm aware.
It's very good. Matthew Lillard. He also plays D&D. Did you know that?
I did see something about that.
He was on another D&D show. Tales of Adventurous or something like that. The Adventurous people, they're great. I love them. I like Chuckles. He's fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep talking about D&D. Unless you change the subject. I will continue.
You ever heard Drag Me to Hell by Sam Raimi?
No, the Spider-Man guy?
The Evil Dead guy, yes.
Yeah, the Spider-Man guy.
Yes. So, yeah, same thing.
Oh, the multiverse madness guy. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna take your sight from you. Anyway, Drag Me to Hell. Instead, I was 30 minutes in it, and I'm just like, man, this is so fucking fun. Samurai movies it's really fun.
What's it about?
It's about a lady who gets cursed by a witch, where in 3 days she's gonna go to hell unless she does something.
Reminds me of another movie with a VHS tape and a girl in a TV.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, what does she have to do?
Something about returning a ring, I think.
So it reminds me of a VHS tape.
Anyway, that's it for the Joe Rogan Experience. Thank you for listening to this rambling and the disappearance of one of our guests. We haven't actually heard back from him about this whole rainstorm thing, so I think we'll have to cut it there.
I'm still not seeing any hail out there, actually. Which is good, because my car's out there. Yeah, so he's probably fine.
So yeah, like, subscribe, and share our podcast, you know, if you feel so inclined. Leave comments about stuff you liked and stuff you didn't like.
Honestly, if you watched this episode, that's just crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe you did that, actually. That's wild. Thank you.
Actually, can you do me a huge favor? Everyone that's watching, can you just do me just the biggest favor and leave a dislike on the video?
We're trying to be the most disliked video on YouTube. That's how we want to get all our views.
I want to beat the Infinite Warfare trailer.
Yeah. Is that the one is that the most disliked on YouTube?
It's the most disliked Call of Duty trailer.
Is the most disliked still the YouTube Rewind one?
I think so.
I'm gonna Google it, because that's the one that made them remove dislikes, wasn't it?
All that, and like people rightfully bullying corporations that on YouTube.
A YouTube video. YouTube Rewind 2018 is the single most disliked video on YouTube. Which is crazy to me.
That was so scary for YouTube. They removed a feature from their website, which is being able to see the number of dislikes.
Yeah, I really don't feel like that was a useful thing to do.
And what's scarier now is that you may look up a tutorial on how to face your fears, and it's just a guy that's screaming because of a toaster because the toaster was finished.
How do you end a podcast?